everyone, I'm Pratibha Agarwal. I'm an immigration attorney. I'm based in Arlington, Virginia. My clients are all throughout the United States, and some of them are international also. We help with all types of immigration law. I am a lawyer. I'm an immigration attorney. I'm located in the U.S., but as long as your issue is immigration, it can be employment-based immigration, it can be family-based immigration, asylum, humanitarian cases like victims of abuse. We do many of those types of cases, but I help with all types of immigration cases. And the best way for you to get started with us is to schedule a consultation. Okay, it's to schedule a consultation. However, I come on live from time to time to answer your immigration questions. I usually start off with kind of a question that comes up pretty often with my clients during consultations, and that I think will be helpful to you. And then I go ahead and take your questions and answer them best I can, of course, based on the limited information I have just from this format, right? So if you have a question, go ahead and type it into the chat. We're streaming on both TikTok and on Facebook. So either way, you can type it into the chat in both TikTok or on Facebook. And then if you have friends or others that might have immigration questions, you want to make sure that they know what we're doing, that we're here, that they can ask a lawyer. I'm kind of in a Q&A, just generally. This is general information. Of course, it's not it doesn't create like an attorney-client relationship, but make sure you go ahead, you share this with your friends so they can pop on and ask questions. Or if they want to join at another time, make sure that you like the page, you let your friends know to like the page, share the page, talk about the page on TikTok or on Facebook, and we can help them answer immigration questions whenever I go live. All right. Thank you. Thanks so much for joining today, and I can go ahead and get started on our question of the day. Okay. Again, if you're just joining, I know we have some people signing on right now. If you're just joining, I'm an immigration lawyer, and I can answer some immigration questions no matter if it's work-based, if it is based on family-based green cards, if your case is stuck, you don't know what to do, where to start. I would say, feel free to reach out to us, but put your question on here, and maybe I might be able to answer it for you here and help clarify some things. Okay? All right. So the question of the day today is, my spouse intentionally sabotaged our green card interview. My spouse intentionally sabotaged my green card interview. What can I do? Right? What can I do? All right. This is something that happens pretty often, unfortunately. So people that are married to either a U.S. citizen or a green card holder, and they don't have any status, right? So they came in with like a tourist visa or another type of visa. They came in temporarily, and then they got married thinking that they're going to start a life with their spouse and things are going to go great. But they get to the interview, and usually there's been problems in the marriage before the green card interview. And the part of the interview is to show that it's a real marriage, not just for immigration purposes. So sometimes you find yourself in the situation, all right, sometimes you find yourself in a situation where your spouse is intentionally sabotaging you. They don't want you to get a green card because then they might not have as much control over you, or they think you're going to leave them, like irrationally. They think you're going to leave them after you get a green card, so they want to sabotage your green card process. They want you to be dependent on them. Unfortunately, this happens more often than we think. So many people in this situation, they realize, okay, they go to one interview and they see their spouse is uncooperative, or maybe sometimes even the spouse doesn't go to the interview. They hold it over their head and they don't even go to the interview, right? So if this happens, that person actually has some recourse, has other options, perhaps, right? So I would say call us for a consultation so we can go through that process with you. But you can apply on your own without your spouse if you find yourself in this kind of abusive situation, right? Maybe there's no physical abuse, but the fact that your spouse is sabotaging your green card process, there may be other problems in the marriage that is resulting in them behaving this way, right? I would say call us and see if you're eligible to apply for this green card on your own. So part of what we do is we hold that green card application. We can have them have the immigration hold that green card application that you've already filed and file what's called a self petition. Okay, and file what's called a self petition. What that is essentially you filing on your own based on the abuse in your marriage. Once that gets approved, that green card application that you've already filed can sort of get restarted, right? Can get restarted, and then you don't have to pay the fees twice, right? Some people, we just say pay the fees twice if you can afford it, because it just makes it easier. But there's a way for you to move forward with your green card process, even if your spouse is not willing to cooperate. The good thing is that you have options, right? You don't have to sit there. You don't have to be beholden to your spouse. And you can still get work authorization. You can get travel authorization. You can get permission to live in the U.S. forever. There are options. Many people don't know that this exists. So this is one of the reasons why we're on here, to be able to inform you that there are options if you find yourself in a difficult situation. Okay, you can reach us at 703-348-1663. Again, that's 703-348-1663. Sunny has a question. Sunny is my longtime follower here. Hi, Sunny. Sunny says, please give me your opinion. This is on Facebook. If you guys don't already like us on Facebook or on TikTok, make sure you go ahead and do that. We're at Agarwal Immigration on both platforms. Okay, it's called at Agarwal Immigration on both platforms. So Sunny says, please give me your opinion. I have a VAWA pending for 3 years now, and I responded to an RFE 7 months ago, and it was only based on good moral character. What can I do? So check your status and make sure that they received the RFE, and you can always call. Well, there's no phone number, unfortunately, anymore for VAWA. There used to be a VAWA hotline, but if you have a lawyer, you can ask them to email the VAWA division at the Vermont Service Center and get a status update on your case, okay, to make sure that they received the RFE. The email is just for lawyers, right? So if you did this with a lawyer, I would ask your lawyer to do that. If you need to correspond with them, you can always call USCIS and they'll give you an address and you can mail a letter if you don't have a lawyer. But I'm going to tell you, VAWA is a little bit complicated, and you want to make sure that you are doing it properly, okay? Or it's going to be a long time and a lot of delays. So I would say you want to work with someone that's done this before. So give us a call if we can help you. We do these a lot. We are at 703-348-1663. All right. Great. I think we have a couple other questions here. Thanks for the compliments, you guys, on TikTok. You're so sweet. Gorg Human says, hello, hi. Someone says, where are you from? I'm from Connecticut. I grew up in Connecticut, which is in New England. I was born in Goa in India, and then my parents and my family immigrated when I was 8 years old to Connecticut. So I grew up there, and then I now live in the Washington, D.C. area. And I work here close to Washington, D.C. My clients really, one of the best parts of the job is that my clients are everywhere. All right. Great. We have some people that have followed the host. Awesome. Sunny says, the officer hasn't responded. It's been 3 years, is a long time. Normal VAWA and green card together will take about 2 to 2.5 years, Sunny. So 3 years is not that far out of normal. But the VAWA usually takes about 1.5 years. You do have options, Sunny, if you want. You can file a complaint for mandamus, which is forcing the government to make a decision on your case. If it's just been pending for a really long time, it's like forcing the government to make a decision on your case. So you can do that. I don't know if you have work authorization and travel authorization, but if you don't, that's something to consider also. Okay. If you have a green card pending. Okay. Meet By says, can you get a work permit on a visitor's visa? No, you cannot get a work permit on a visitor's visa. To get a work permit, this is actually a pretty important question. To get a work permit, you need to have some kind of other application, some other basis for filing for a work permit, right? You can't just go and file for a work permit, unfortunately. What you can do is you either file for an employment-based visa that will be directly authorize you to work. You don't have to usually file for work permit after you get authorized for an employment-based visa, or you have like a green card pending or an asylum application pending, and then you can file for a work permit based on that. So some other categories are like VAWA, for example. Some people haven't filed for a green card, but they get a VAWA, which is if you're married to a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. There's some other relationships that will work for VAWA also, like parents of U.S. citizens, just basically based on victims of abuse. If the VAWA portion gets approved, then you can, it's called deferred action. So you will not be removed. And you can get a work permit based on that. So there's different ways to get a work permit, but usually it's based on something else. All right, great. Well, anyway, I think we got through to everybody's questions. I appreciate you guys joining me. Thank you so much. Feel free to call us if you would like to talk more confidentially about your immigration case. You can reach me at 703-348-1663. If you join me later on, my name is Pratibha Agarwal, and I look forward to meeting many of you. Thanks so much. Bye.